Alright, so it's recorded now. So yeah, we're looking at Bitcoin dominance. Playbit called out longs for it. I can see why. There's bullish divergence on a daily chart for Bitcoin dominance. For those of you who don't trade and or pay attention to like divergence, it's not necessarily like a make or break for a trade, but it just gives an edge whenever you're like looking for like a valid argument to, you know, whether say long or short on something. So just simply what the MACD is, it just shows buyer exhaustion and or seller exhaustion and or like growing for either one. So red is obviously sells, green is obviously buys, and then so on and so forth. When it turns pink and or like light blue or whatever, that's when you see it like depleting. So when you could see like a shift in the oscillator, right? And then obviously we got our RSI, like just shows relative strength at the time. So it's like on a scale of 0 to 100, 100 super overbought, 0 obviously be super oversold. So in need of a bounce or in need of a sell-off, essentially, when you're at the top of the range. Above 70 is like the bullish control zone, and then under 30 is like the bearish control zone. So you like in between 30 and 70 on this line, like right now, we're at 39-ish on the RSI. You want to be like right in between the middle, not too much on one side. But with this divergence being set, so we were getting sell-off, right? Like a lot of seller momentum. Sellers were stepping in, but then you saw like as we got to the low, sellers became exhausted and stepped away, and then we had the buyers come in. Then we get the big impulse up, and then we get the sell-off again. But if you notice here, this like level of sells versus this level of sells, there's clearly more sells right here, right? Okay, well, so we know that to be true. More sells here than there was here, but guess what? Price is made, or is trying to pivot and go positive off a higher low. So what I mean by that is a sell-off, a pump, and you didn't come all the way back down right here. You're starting to trying to pivot right here and go to the positive upside. So what that means is it took more sells to bring the price down, but it couldn't get as low as it was previously. So more sellers, less price movement, that's bullish, because in that sense, meaning needs a bounce to the upside. Or it could, right? It's all, you know, it's not like guarantees. It should. It's what it's looking like, that it should bounce right here. RSI, you're getting down into the 30s, like you could bounce, pivot back up to, I don't know, in the 60-ish area. Nothing wrong with that. So just pay attention to it. And I'm not gonna get too much in the harmonics because it's pretty difficult to understand. This is just like a fib tool essentially. It shows you maybe retracements from like highs to lows and stuff, and it's kind of just like a visual harmonic. Yeah, so Bitcoin dominance, I agree with the longs pivoting. It would be a decent hedge in case Bitcoin starts pumping. That means more money is going into Bitcoin than it was the altcoins, so your altcoins could be decreasing in price as more money starts to flow into Bitcoin. Bitcoin.D for those that want to chart it. I know when you trade it on Binance or whatever, it's like Bitcoin Dom or something. I don't they have that chart here? Yeah, okay, this perp chart. Yeah, this could be just, I don't know, some sideways inverse head and shoulders or something. Like, look at all these cells right here, and then look at this crazy low. Like, this looks minuscule to this, but we're nowhere near this price. So, just something to think about. Going forward, we got, always look at Bitcoin, right? What do we got? Another day, another candle on Bitcoin. Oh, as we can see here, like, so this, I pointed out some bearish divergence on Bitcoin 4 hour. We had a high, buyers, sell off, okay, whatever. We made a higher high than this previous high, but there was less buyers. Weak buy. That means like a weak pump, right? And then the sellers step in. Now, if you do pivot right here, you can make the argument for bullish divergence because you haven't broken this low. I like Bitcoin above 59,859. This bullish engulfing candle in the 4 hour is huge. In my opinion, it's everything for this range. Because it was a double bottom right here, a bunch of wick reactions going on right here. So it's definitely something to think about and to keep notice of. If we came down to these prices, I can guarantee you're going to see some sort of reaction. But this, to me, just looks like one big chop. No real structure, no real like strategy right here in this this is literal chop. I don't know if anybody sees this like a juicy trade, but in my opinion it's not. In my opinion it's not even worth it to short it. Because what are you going to short it for? $1,000? Okay, like you have one Bitcoin on leverage, okay, you made 1,000, but it seems like people are going to have to over leverage to really make money on this little dip that it might have. Some could say what, bear flag. I mean, in my opinion, not really, because it's only 2, and then this one it's usually like 3 or 4, and then the dump. What else? Let's look at the daily, I guess. Let's go to a different chart. This one's pretty messy. Oops. So yeah, I mean, we're consolidating in an area like above this previous high, which is decent. I like that. If we were to fall, I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm not here saying like falling or whatever, but say Bitcoin was to, right, like not hold this range. Say we were to break down for whatever reason. Like if we broke this 57K-ish, I'm really looking for 52. And the reason why I'm looking for 52, it's because, here, let me go to the daily chart. The reason why I'm going for 52 is because this is the El Salvador day, the day that El Salvador, like, well, they were announcing that they were going to accept Bitcoin, and this is the day that it became official in their, like, in their country. The actual, like, it was day 1 of the Bitcoin payments and or whatever. We completely dumped, and it ruined this little uptrend that we did. And we retraced back down, test 40K, and then we sprung again. Decent. Look at this is a spring, back test a spring, continue the upside. Like a ping pong, if you will. Not ping pong, a pinball. So in my opinion, if we did break this like this supply up here, I really like 58K, 58.3. But if we were to break this supply right here, in my opinion, we'd probably go down to 52.5, just to test this as a support, because this is pretty big. Like this day, because this, I mean, it kept us in a downtrend for almost a month, 23 weeks. So I could definitely see right there. Now moving forward, okay, sorry, going back to Bitcoin though, but in my opinion, there's nothing really that's like crazy going on. This was a pretty bullish candle. It's unfortunate that we had a this follow-up candle with it. Oops, do not want to do that. It's just unfortunate that we had this follow-up candle with it, but this reversal candle is pretty bullish. Essentially, this candle dumped all the way down here, and then buyer stepped in at the end of the day and just pushed it all the way back up. It was pretty bullish looking at the time, but I mean, this is kind of nothing in my opinion. Moving on to Ethereum, which was hitting all-time highs. It's pulled back some. It's fine. Still looks super decent. It's consolidating and it's above previous all-time highs, unlike Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not above previous all-time highs. No real anything is broken on the structure. If anyone was sick, what this is like a rising channel or something. Like what we got if you want to do something like this, I don't even know. It broke below it and just went back in it or something, I guess. I don't know. Something like that. I don't know, if you will. But it looks fine, in my opinion. I really love it above these highs. And if not, 41.73. I think this holds previous all-time high candle close from May. So it's trading above it, and that's super key. And there's some support coming down here. I mean, if we were to break down, 43.75, the previous all-time high, 41.73, the previous candle high close of all time. And then we got this nice bullish engulfing candle from this day, this 38,088, I'm sorry, 3,888. That looks decent right there. But yeah, so that's just an overview of, y'all can see thoughts on AXS. Wish I could short all perp. There's also shit perp. Yeah, let's see what oscillators. Yeah, like, so Ethereum is showing some bearish divergence clearly. You know, buyers are getting extremely exhausted. We haven't seen negative momentum since September 30th, so about 35 days. But I mean, this thing could go like this. That's why trying to call something is like super hard, because it could just totally underperform something that you didn't think. Where's my drawing tool? It could just go like this, right? Like say the selling began again, and then it's just like this, and then you start like over again on the MACD. The selling could be so weak. You can't anticipate how much selling is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So it could literally just create some red momentum, and we just chop around right here, and then continue the upside. You just gotta play it cool. Yeah, let me get to some of these tickers. What you think about Sol? I mean, it's like all-time highs. Let me see. It was dope. Hella fun. I was hella hyped. About a 3 or 4, 5. Bro, those shit. That's all they pretty much had besides like this Hennessy bar that was like near my
Yeah, I know damn well that shit was $20 a beer.
Yeah, it was like 15 or 16 or some shit.
Like you're saying like $40 at the fucking at the stadium in Toronto, the Rogers Center, yo. Like $40 for like a beer, some fucking like a hot dog. That shit is retarded.
Yeah. But with Soulhood, dude, you're literally at my 4236 fib. Like the max extension of fibs before they'll just complete like parabolic. And I know this is parabolic, like ever since you kind of broke 92, but like this above this is like no man's land. Like I'd have to redraw this shit. But this is the all-time. This is Soul's all-time from the all-time low to the high of May, like that $58 high. And then when you pulled back and then you triple bottomed, like this is the whole entire move, and you're like right at it. You reacted at every single fib on this one, so in my opinion, this one's kind of accurate with it. 1272 bull flag breakout, like to go parabolic, and that's what you did. 4236, like if you create a support here and you moon, like bro, it's like I don't know, like I guess I could go like this. Let's go to this chart. You could go like this. Um, 256, 278, 308, like let's at the end is 700. That's the next 4236. If you just go straight another pair around 700. But I don't know. I can't really strategize this because it's literally like it gets further into space, like as much as you go up. I'd like to see a pullback. I meant just to see it healthy, just to get more bids in. You want more money in it. Like a lot of people get weary when shit gets really high in price like this. Like you don't see a lot of newcomers coming in because they're scared of like something so extended that a 50% correct, that 30% correction or something. If shit hits $300 and it pulls back to 200, like everyone's gonna be so upset. So I feel like people are kind of waiting. If we do get a dip, I feel like Sol will get eaten up extremely hard. Probably if it tests $200 again, it'll get eaten up. TA on off, yeah. I'm gonna get to some of these DMs first. Just to see yeah, if anyone has any questions or anything, pretty much what I just want to show is, and all this crazy stuff on like charts, I literally just use the Fib tool. If anyone wants to learn about the Fib tool, we have a bunch of videos and stuff in the basics section of videos, and also like YouTube. Like it's everyone who's going to teach you the Fib tool is going to teach you the same way, because there's really only one way. You pull it from a swing low to swing high, and then you basically create a visual range of like areas where people take profits and or like get into positions at certain price levels just because of discount. What do you think of AI? I don't know what that is. AI, is that a crypto? AI USDT? Multiverse coin? Oh, this is, what I think of it, I think it's just gonna, it's just gonna pump with this whole metaverse thing. TA, simply like, this is a daily chart, right? Screw all the noise. If you're watching this on the 15-minute, it's just like this. This is butt, right? Like chop, 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 chop. Like, okay, if you just want to check your position every so day, watch 8.2 cents right here. Double tops. Here, I like this one better because this is the first creator one, right? And then you're above this wick high. So you're gonna see a potential reversal right here, because literally every single time that it's been right here, it's done that. So if you break trend, shit, dude. Last time you broke it in 2 days, you went parabolic up. So what? That's the target. If you break 9 cents, 20 cents, why not? It's literally straight up, straight down. Pretty hard to kind of strategize that. When would you use the reverse fibs? Okay, so let me find a chart. Oh, look at Sushi just respecting that. My God, this one's a beast. Yeah, Sushi's a freaking beast. Damn, 1350 is brick wall. Over 1350, you can see 15, whatever. I'm gonna find a chart that's not used. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is reverse fibs. So it's not necessarily reverse fibs. It's, are you trying to find an extension in price or a retracement in price? Like, are you looking for a price to go down or to go up from a breakout or a breakdown? So what I mean by that is, from this low of this wick to this high, here, I'll actually visually do this. From this specific low, actually, crap, I can't. To this specific high, this is the range that I'm trying to figure out. So if you will, like, literally screw all this, right? If you're just trying to figure out this range. So I'm just going to go like this. I only want to look at this. Like, I want to figure out where price is going to go from this range. So what you do is, you take it from the low to the high of the tool. You can hold a control button, and it's like a magnet tool, so it'll literally pinpoint to the specific dollar, instead of like, you get it wrong and it's like right there, and then you screw your limits up because you said something and it's not pinpoint exactly. So you hold the control button down on your keyboard and then use your mouse, and it'll just go directly to like the wick and or body. Like, I can go like directly here, I can go directly right here. It's the white line that's on the top. Alright, so this is a range. So if I was looking, alright, if we break out of here, where will we go? Well, extensions going up is 19, 21, 22, whatever. But if I was looking to say, oh, I'm trying to get into the position, and I want to see where like discount could come for me to get in, you go from the high to the low, right? And then it's like, okay, so essentially from this high to this low, if price was to fall all the way down to this red line, you went on 88% discount. What I mean by that is this thing. Like, the number's going to be off. I guess this is actually a better way, because the measurement tool is like, it's wonky. So like think of it like this. Think of this like a freaking just a block. And let me see the drawing tool. People, I feel like it's more visual for people. So if you like eat away, if this was like food or something, I don't know, fucking candy bar if you will. If this thing fell all the way down right here, like you only have about like 10% of your whole entire thing left. So like you lose 80% of what you have from this whole entire move to the downside. So if you literally freaking just, oh, we just subtracted a bunch of stuff. Super discount, like from where this high was all the way down here. So that's where it comes into play using like retracements and or extensions. So say you made your retracement. This one did a 50% from the high to the low, sold off 50%, like came back down testing like the 50%. There's like a lot of demand right here at like 50% discount of this range. So my thought process would be, okay, if this is quote unquote a bottom for this area, so then you say, okay, where would price go? Where do people take profits at? Fuck. Where do people take profits at? We're coming up right here. A lot of people like to take profits at the 886 and or 786, and you get that by literally seeing rejection right here. But if you break this high, I would definitely look for like this 1272 and or like going back in history and looking at correlating prices, like right here. This is a bunch of bottoms coming in right here, which is kind of lining up with this this breakout level. So literally probably you breakout right here, you could potentially see, yeah, I would kind of look at it like right here, this dip, but you get the point. It's like range, like you're trying to figure out where discount is in the range, and or where to sell in the range, like where to take profits in the range, because a lot of other people are going to do it too, and price is going to be manipulated. Yeah, definitely. Someone asked me something else. So Aave, okay, I'll do Aave. I know a lot of people are Aave. Yeah, if that makes sense, whatever. And if you want to mess around and chart something up and send it to me and ask, for my opinion, feel free to do so. DMs are always open. I was gonna say, oh, Aave. Aave, the neglected crypto. Okay. Simple price action before I look in to see what anything is. You're kind of, which is pretty sick. This was, ever since you broke down from this level right here, resistance coming up, resistance coming up. Yeah, you broke out, but you did this weird impulse thing. You tested it kind of as a support with the 200 EMA, but then you broke through it again, chopped around it, and now you're trying to actually back test it as a form of support, which is decent. My target again is 374. It was 374 before even this pump, because you had tops coming in right here, bottoms coming in right here. But yeah, I mean, this thing, compared to what it was in all these other cryptos, I mean, dude, this thing was 670 bucks at one point. That's half off. It's like just like Fibs, right? Like how we were just talking about that. Let me go to this chart. Since it's half off, so what I'm thinking of, where's a good time to buy? Because you don't want to buy at all-time highs, right? And you don't want to wait too long for an opportunity to come up. Literally, it's from this high to this low when it sold off. It sold off 78% of its value. It lost 78%. Literally take the measure tool from this high to this low. Yeah, you're down 74% in value right here. And then obviously you bounce whatever, and you're consolidating with 60%. So this is still a discount. Like this is the golden mean ratio in Fibs between the 50% and the 618. You see a lot of bids come in right here. Like a lot of people are like, okay, it's not as expensive for me to get in, so I feel safer now. It's half off, right? But when you come down to these levels, like 786, 886, like it's extreme value. Like it's like think of your favorite pair of shoes. You go in a store, Nike, whatever, Foot Locker, and your favorite pair of shoes, they 80% off today. Everybody cops. When stuff gets this deep, everybody cops. All the time. Like, I'm not saying bank on it, whatever, but it's definitely helped me a lot. It's a really good strat. These are my two favorite numbers, 786, 886. Because it's very smart to set up a trading plan set up around these levels. It's very low risk. Because what are you risking? You're not longing at you're not longing at 23% discount. No, you're longing on 38, you're longing at 88% or 90% discount. So your stop loss, what, you break the major low of your range. So it's like, this would be your trade. This is what everyone should be thinking about when they're getting in a trade. If I longed it right here at the 50%, like strategically what? Like this to the all-time high? No, that looks trash. You're gonna answer that? That literally looks garbage. But what most people wait for and they're patient, they go like this. Oh, I'm swinging it to all-time highs. Right, this is where I'm taking profit. And this is where I'm stopping out. When you find value, like 88% off. In anything. This could be this chart could be oranges or cows or steel or gold or like whatever it could be. It doesn't have to be just this coin. Because then you kind of gotta zone out all the fundamental stuff, because then you get emotional about it. Like, oh, well, I believe in this long term, and like I own it, and like I support it, or I stake it, or I've been doing a bunch of research on it, or so and so, blah, like all that's okay, cool. But I'm talking setting up the best trade plan for the best risk to reward is like the best thing you can do when trading, especially if a lot of you guys are going to trade futures. Because those percents, man, like, this will wreck you. Like, if Ave was like, alright, nah, I want to go to the 618 again. Okay, it's gonna dump 17% to 270. I mean, 18%, what, if you guys 10x that, was a 180% loss. And most of you guys will sell on the way down. So just, yeah, careful with that. Here, maybe we go to Fib. Yeah, here, okay. Fib retracement settings. So these are my settings. I'll leave this up on the screen for a second, in case you guys want to do it, screenshot it, write it down, or whatever. These are my settings. The colors don't matter, it's just something visual for me to space everything out. Really, it's like 886, 786. I'd probably have those highlighted in green, because it's like those are the money ones. Like if you see stuff come down at 886, 786, it bounces every time. And I'll go through examples if people really don't believe me. Like, I see a lot of people just have the 618, and then it goes to like nothing or whatever. Man, y'all gotta put that 786, 886 in your chart. I'm telling you. Because you see, people would be like, alright, well, we're probably gonna reset. Well, no, we're probably gonna pivot right here, and you weren't paying attention because you didn't have it on your chart. I don't know if y'all watching this Jets and Colts game, but damn, the Jets suck. Yeah, these are my settings, and if you didn't get it, I'm gonna exit out of it. If you didn't get it, then just DM me, I'll send you a screenshot. And also, this is being recorded, so just go back to the video if you want to get for it. So you have to change those numbers? Yeah. No, not ever. I changed it one time, and they don't change every time I draw it up. Like, I could do it every single time. Like this. Hello, whatever. It's like this. It's the same numbers every time. Same numbers. Let's see. So there's my fib settings. Let's see, more DMs. Could you go over the TA on a Chewy trade and possibly show the type of TAs you look for when you're day trading stocks? Yeah. When I'm day trading stocks, it's usually based off of higher time frames when it's ready to pop intraday. I used to kind of scalp patterns and EMA bounces and stuff when I was kind of trading like that when I first started, and it kind of wore me out because it's like a lot of unneeded like stress and or maintenance for a trade. I like to get in a trade and like let it do its thing because I believe in it. Like I have strong conviction of it, so I'm just like not worrying over it, Like I know where price is gonna go, and or I know where price, if it fails, I'm gonna get stopped at. Like, I know where it's bad. So if you can't answer those two questions, like where is it gonna go and where can it not go, then odds are you probably shouldn't be getting in the trade, and you might as well just like watch it from the sidelines and learn something. Because it's kind of undervalued how much you can learn just by literally just watching and not like risking your money if you're not sure. No harm, no foul. You learn something and you don't waste any money, and you have more money to get more stuff with the education that you were patient with. So you gotta know where it's gonna go. But yeah, let's go Chewy. Chewy, it's a stock. I know it's crypto chat, but TA is TA. So if this was on a coin, I would have longed it, and it's respecting the TA really well. What I saw on Chewy. Oh, so I was going through, and I used to trade the stock a lot when it was like up here, and then it sold off a lot. Like, let's see. Okay, just going back to just relaying and emphasizing what we learned, or trying to learn, like with the whole fib thing. From this high to this low, right? Because this is your last like pivot, like right, like pivot on the 200 EMA, pivot on the 200 EMA. So this was your last pivot. So I'm gonna take this high. I'm gonna take this low. Right? Chewy from this high to this low, it dumped 80, like damn near 80% in value. 786, 80%. Even undercut it a little more, probably negative 90%. But you're pivoting. This is still a reaction at the 886. I'd classify it as such. You're testing the 618 of this range right here. This is what you're kind of rejecting when you were pumping up today. I hit this for a good trade. It was over like 140% intraday. I set it up for a swing, but it started going crazy. I seen it was rejecting the 200. We were pushing up into it right here at 75, breaking through, and I thought, all right, maybe we're gonna go through because we have a huge gap to fill from earnings. They dumped pretty hard. So in my opinion, most stocks tend to fill the gap. So we had this big bullish engulfing candle. Let me see. I think it was the daily, or no, it's the weekly. Then I checked the weekly, and we have insane bullish divergence, right? Nice structure too. So we had a bunch of sellers come in, obviously, right? Like from this is the 886 like sell-off. Bunch of sellers came in. Obviously, we pumped up higher low than the previous low on price and on the oscillator, so that's fine. And then we sold off and we made more lows than this previous low, but there was less sellers. And it looks like we're about to go positive on like Chewy's weekly to the upside. And it's in a nice like consolidating like triangle range. Going to the daily again. This is also a Japanese candlestick pattern. It's 3 rising methods. You can find more about Japanese candlesticks like Rainer on YouTube. It's an Asian guy. He's super good with like candles and stuff like that. Going into this, we had like a double top. This is the daily. We had like a little double top thing going on right here, or a block, I guess, if you will. And when we broke this 75-80 level on my screen over here to the right, the candle high closes of this range, I was like, okay, we're probably going to test the 200. And it all adds up because if you notice this 75-80 level, it comes in, this is the candle close, or I'm sorry, the candle open from July. This is like a support, if you will. And then this was then treated as resistance. Also, one could say this is like kind of like a little inverse head and shoulders. You go maybe the 4 hour or something like that. Like yeah, like little inverse head and shoulders, whatever, cool. But in my opinion, we're gonna go fill the gap, and it just went crazy. Volume came in, not that. I mean, nice volume, substantial volume coming in for the day. Checked like the 1 hour. It was literally just vertical since the open. Yeah, it was a good trade. Could see a pullback. What if you sell off? Obviously pump, like retrace, pump. If you like sell off, I would love to see you come down and like use this as a support, right? Something like this. like that or something. Like it uses this high formation over here as a support and then bounces again, breaks this, yada yada yada. And then you can just fib check targets for that too. But in my opinion, it's going to go fill the gap. It was pretty strong today. It could catch some follow through tomorrow with the strength that it showed today. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I usually just look for stuff on higher time frames and I just see if it's ready to go intraday and then I make an entry. Hold it for a couple of days, let it play out for a few like daily candles and, you know, rinse and repeat something else. Cold swing of was a lot. Let's see. So can you chart Raven? Yeah, Raven. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about anything to talk about, feel free to ask. Hopefully it's... My TA isn't really complicated. I literally use just previous price lines and see how they correlate when you come up to meet them again. Okay, so I haven't charted this chart, so we're gonna literally do it live right now. This is how I would set something up, or what I would see. So just looking forth with a big impulse up. I really don't care about this all the way over here because it's literally like, unless you're coming locally to these prices again, like I care about this. Wait, what? So why do I feel like all this data just disappeared? Anyways, so I really don't care about all this down here. Like you could chart that if you wanted to, but I'm focusing on what is happening right now. So what I see is that going just from the daily standpoint. Well, let's look at the weekly. Crypto, it's good to swing. So weekly could just tell you if it's bullish or not. Nice uptrend. You just made higher lows every time. You sold off, made a low, pumped. Yeah, you made a lower high, but you still made a higher low. That's great. You break out right here. Yeah, that. I want to see some weekly candles close above this. Weekly candles close above 15 cents. You're probably going to go to 21 cents over here. Because this is where more sells are probably going to be at. Substantial sells too. Hopefully test that bearish engulfing candle. Yeah, 19 to 21 cents probably is where you're going to go right here. But let's go to the daily. Daily chart. Bunch of volume coming in right here. It's been a nice week for it. Let's see. Let's get some lines drawn up. So I'm looking for like this top and or this top. I'm kind of ignoring the wicks for now until we get there. Because none are really correlating with each other. Like, okay, maybe 24 cents. Because it's hit every single one of these. But I'm looking for probably this range right here. The candle bodies closes because that's where a lot of conviction's at. Like, at least for the people that were selling it. Let's see. So looking to take some profits right there if one was to get there. I like this here. This is a nice support. Even if we do pivot right here, if there's a sell-off overnight, I want to hold this because this is where you had a nice bounce. You bounce right here again. So, and then you use this as some sort of resistance. So support, resistance, sell-off, breakthrough. You kind of tried to back test it and you didn't, and then you tested it as some resistance and now you're over it. So really it's the key to hold above 13 cents on this coin. Over 13 cents you could probably see these levels. Literally it's just straight up, straight down. And I don't mean to be like a dick or anything, but literally it's like straight up and then it's alright. And then it's like straight down and then straight up again. And then once you got like over here, you flew straight down. Yeah, you pumped up and it was little, like minuscule. It was probably some dump or whatever. And then you came back down right here. So you can go crazy. I wouldn't be surprised literally if Raven was at 20 cents or something one day, just because of how much chop it is. This is chop. Boom, 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 boom. There's not really much. Okay, but this right here, this would be another 2. Break this range. You're probably good right here. I say over 15 cents. 15.5, you go to 22 cents. How about that? So what is that? Let's see, like 50% upside or something. 44% upside. I mean, if you're not in it, I would honestly set a limit for right here because you probably could test it. Really, you want nothing to do with it underneath this low, right? You don't want to break this low underneath the 200 EMA. It'd be so foul though. You're down substantially. That's an 18% dip, but it's a 73% pump. It's still a 3. It's almost a 4-for-1 trade. But most of you guys aren't gonna stomach this dip, the 20% dip, and that's from your entry right here. If you got in right now, it'd be like a 26% dip. So I think there's 44% upside over the breakout of this range, and then with your limit buys, it's about 20% downside. I don't know if that Raven chart helped you. Alright. Can you peep mana? Yeah. Big pump and dump. I hope you didn't get in after it went stupid, because this thing could just literally go full reset. When I say full reset, it's literally like, here, just delete all this shit. Okay, so if we think about it, this is the low, right? Look at this wick. It's the last pretty much point of area where you pivoted. This is like a last major like swing low before you just went parabolic, right? Okay, you've dumped almost 60% of the way to the downside. I mean, so you could see a pop, right? Like you could come right here, and then you could see some sort of reaction going on forward. But I mean, I know you're gonna get a reaction right here at like $1, like $1.20. Yeah, this thing would pop at $1.20. This thing would literally probably just pivot straight to the upside. It's super, it's so risky right now. This would be like longing in the middle of space. You have some seller exhaustion coming in right here. RSI is completely neutral. In my opinion, there's nothing you can do with this. Like, I wouldn't even really waste your time looking at this because there's other stuff that you can make money on. It's not really looking good either too until you start trading above like 330. So with that information, I guess you could do what you will. I said there was the sellers were getting exhausted on the 4-hour, but look at the daily. The buyers are just haven't even gotten red yet. Yeah, you don't want to trade underneath like. You don't want to close the daily candle underneath like 142 because that's like the whole move. You do have some support right here though, like 160s and stuff from these previous highs. Yeah, this coin, it just got ruined from the pump, in my opinion. Like when coins do this, they get ruined. I bet it's gonna pull back to like 180. 180? It's a good idea. Okay, let's see if someone wants Maker. Dude, I had this one charted, but I just straight up missed it. But it's all good because there's always more trades. So yeah, Maker had a nice like little double bottom at like 2200. Pulled up. I thought it was, I still believe it's gonna test 37. But this $3,100 level is pretty solid for it. Look, you got wick resistance, some sort of support, chop, resistance, support. So like being above or under like 3100 is kind of key for it, for like just the maintained move of it. But if you were in it, if you got in down here, like in my opinion, you're so fine. You have support going in right here. Same thing, support resistance flip here. Let me delete this. It's old TA. Literally just look at the price correlation levels. You can learn a lot just by literally looking at what the chart did in the past. wicks, bodies, zones where people are like loading up, right? Dude, you can get something like this. You see, like, you sell off little curl. This is some ugly fat head, double bottom. Come up here, resistance. You chop around, you absorb, kind of like this. You can do something like this. Like, just come back up, and then this thing could just go all the way up. Because why not? It always, like, it just went straight up over this level. Because over 3100, literally look what it does every time. Over 3100, this pump, it went 100%. Over 3100 again, this pump went 40%. Like, I feel like people make it really hard on themselves to like figure out like what to do. Like literally again, this one went 30%, and even this one, for a day, or like for half a day, went 17%. This thing explodes over 3100. It's super volatile over 3100, but you really want it to break out of like 35, 37, because you can go all the way to 6,000, dude. Honestly, quick equity flips. Yeah, Maker was cool. It's kind of in the market's hands now. ICP. Okay, I love ICP. I don't love what it's doing as of yet. So we're getting the sell-off. We're getting suffocated super hard by this 200 EMA. We're like, dude, if we come down on quad bottom because we've got a low, like on $40. Like if this thing tests $40 again, it's probably gonna break it to the downside because of how many times there's just so much supply. Here, wait. There's just like so much supply, like coming in every single time it hits there, with more and more and more sells. So that's my opinion on it. I'm still in the trade. I'm in it above 40 bucks. I was talked about it a couple weeks ago. Still holding it. In my opinion, you still, well, where it's at now, I guess. In my opinion, you still have 88% upside. Pretty bullish. God damn. But yeah, suffocated by the 200 EMA, not looking the hottest. Sellers are getting exhausted. Okay, RSI completely neutral. Let me see daily time frame. Nothing. Nothing's exciting with this one right now. Probably could have to do with Bitcoin dominance. Might be getting a pump here soon. You got a good shitcoin. Jeez, what the fuck happened to this coin?
It's a lookout.
It's a what?
Lookout.
What is that?
Like a list of blocks.
Oh, I thought you said I thought you said something else. It's literally just chopping through this thing. Damn. You don't really want to break underneath this line though. Look at all the support that it was using. You want this to be some new form of support. Because you had all these candles come up and try to test it. And then you had resistance on it. You really want to hold, what is this? 0.004800, I guess. And then, I mean, your targets are still fucking stupid. Like 120%, 140%. And I don't know. This thing is crazy. It looks insane. ARPA, that's a pump and dump, but we can look at it because of the chart. I think I still own some of this. Damn, we went to 28 cents. I bought it at 12. Right here. It's 13, this breakout. It pumped up, sold off, came back up, broke out. It's kind of using this as a back test of this previous all-time high, and it's impulsing up. Buyer, okay, this is bearish divergence. Good form of it too. If you can see here, color code this in red. Both oscillators. Oh. Right? Bearish divergence 101. And I'm telling you, bro, you can make a lot of money just literally spotting pivot reversals with divergence. It literally just pays the bills, bro. I pay all my bills with divergence. Keep it a buck. So you impulsed up, right? Like you got the pump that you wanted, right? Volume probably was in here, whatever. Buyers became exhausted, sellers stepped in, okay, whatever. And then you impulsed up again. You made new highs, like crazy new highs. Like everyone could see that from this level, like 17 cents to 28 cents, mad difference. But buyers were exhausted way quicker. So look at the pump. Sold off way harder. This RSI is telling me that this stock, or I'm sorry, this coin was stronger right here at these levels than it was at these highs. That's bearish. Price is non-reflective of what the actual strength in the coin is, so thus it's gonna get not like rug pulled, but the rug pulled from underneath. Like it doesn't have stability as one would really think you have, because the buyers are stepping away and the strength is now like depleting. So I guess look out for 17 cents and then 13 cents again. In my opinion, like that's all you can really do. Straight up, straight down. These coins, these shit coins are getting harder to talk about. Can you talk about looking for reversal when everything is looking too hot? Can you give me an example, like on what? Cause stuff, not everything. Like you can't really say, like everything is a hard, like group to put everything in. If that makes sense. Did anyone pick up DAP token? I'm a rookie. No, I didn't get DAP. Can you do TA for 88? Yeah, I got you, bro. Oh, not the chart. Okay. Cardano. Bullish divergence. I've had a chart out for a few days. I'm actually in Cardano, bought some Cardano at like $2 or something like that. So what I like is you had obviously the seller from the highs. Here's the divergence. Lower levels of price, the sellers are gone. Like there's literally no one. And it looks like you can go positive pretty much tomorrow or the next day or something like that. And you're above a critical level of 188, which was, besides this like little scam thing, it was resistance a lot coming in right here. And then you came back off and you wick testing it. This is like a little zone. I didn't want to put another rectangle because whatever, but this is like 182, 188 range. It matters for it because in my opinion, if you don't hold this 180, you're probably going to come test this 150. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Everyone remembers this Cardano resistance. Like, this thing was terrible for like the longest time because it was not doing anything. But it looks decent. Like, it looks decent. If one was to ask about, are you owning this? Yes, I own it. I'm just going to buy value when I see it. Potential trades. Literally, if it's underneath like 182, I'm out because it's probably going to 150. And then 150, I might take some bids at it. And what's crazy is, well, it's not crazy. That's the psychology of trading. Literally, if you break here, I'm out. And I guarantee you, when this thing breaks, it's going to straight flush to like 150 or something. And then when you see 150, everyone's going to bounce. Because literally, like me and everyone else, I'm thinking, all right, 150, I got my bid set. So you see all the money, like the open orders and shit coming through, all the limit buys at like 150. I guarantee you, if you go to the order book and look at Cardano at 150, there's millions and millions and millions and millions of tokens being bought at 150 if one price was to get there. That's where I am. So we create the support, we create the resistance by the psychological nature of these charts. Because I'm saying, alright, we're breaking down, I'm going to get out. And everyone sees that as well. So everybody gets out and we go to the next area where there's a lot of inflection. Inflection meaning a lot of points where prices were pumped, like breaking out or breaking under, like from. So this 150 level, it was resistance for, I mean, after the pump, and you went through, but I mean, it acted as a type of resistance for 160 days. You know, it's half a year. So just look out for that. I mean, I like Cardano. I like it above 188. If you can get bids, if you can get limit buys at like 188 or like this 200 EMA, look, I love that. The 188 literally is lining up like on point with this 200. It could be good. Break, in my opinion, break above 205, you go to 230. Hopefully that was decent an explanation. Can you share your settings for TradingView? What settings? Like all of them? I don't really have anything on my charts. I don't really have indicators. I use the Playbit 200 EMA because I like the ribbon aspect of it. I use the MACD tool. Literally just you go indicators, MACD, this one, and then indicators, RSI, relative strength index. I favorite it. That one. Simon. CHZ. Oh, look at my long position. Went stupid. Got stopped out, I guess. Yeah, this thing was nuts. Dude, this is one of those is this one of those gaming tokens is affiliated with that pump? Because if it is, it's probably just gonna go like 57 cents. This one isn't like that clear to me. You're trying to hold like the September 6th day, so kind of what I wanted Bitcoin to do, referencing to the September 6th day. That's an important day for crypto because it was literally the crash from El Salvador. If Bitcoin was to fall, I'd want it to see it hold its September 6th day because pretty much every coin has a red candle, like a pretty nasty one, for that hold like across all the charts. So I like CHZ because it came down to test it. Wait, where'd my data go?
I don't know how far it's gonna come down.
Okay.
Events.
Sorry about that. What I like about it is that it's came down kind of to test it, and it's sort of trying to stay above these levels from September 6th, above 44 cents. Yeah, look at this, like candle high close. This is where look at these pivots, stuff like that just makes so much sense. Clear setup. Look at all this chop through. Bunch of exchanging prices going on right here. So watch 52 to 56. I mean, over here, dude, you can literally moon, and you know what these coins will do. This thing will probably be like fucking $10 or some shit one day, like just off some moon shit. No real edge. I don't really see. RSI is like meh. MACD is literally just meh. It's if you're in it, great. Just keep an eye on it. Keep an eye of it holding above September 6th candle high close. Someone said E and J. Got you. This is another trade I was in. Literally mooned. It sucks when people. I know obviously the stream is now or whatever, but if you guys see setups or whatever like before they happen, that's kind of the best time to ask about it because, in my opinion, like like this thing already. We got in at like 158. My stop loss was 145. Because then I think of like the whole high and low thing, right? Like where you pivot at, and where's the support? Like this thing could dump to like 229, and you can be down like 60%, and it could just literally come test these like high range right here. Like it's super not good risk to reward. You are trading above. Let's see. You are trading above like say these highs, right? Like this isn't going to be like perfect. I'm just trying to visually show you. Like you are trading like above these highs right here, like boom, boom, coming through. So you kind of got that going for you. The longer you stay above like these ranges, you could test this all-time high of like $4. Definitely. Like I definitely could see that. But in my opinion, it's not a good long if you're not already in it. If you're holding equity and you've been in it, great, keep holding it. If you're holding your longs, great, keep holding it. But in my opinion, it's yeah, look at that 152 back test. Like this all-time high wick coming up, resistance, 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 support, support, resistance to support. Like great entry coming on here, just back testing it. Yeah, if you're not in it, it doesn't really look that strategy because in my opinion, like what's the stop loss? I always ask myself that. What's the stop loss? Bullshit, bro. Nothing's really invalid on the chart. You're not breaking any structure on this chart until what? Like, okay, you break this low. But even then, that's not even substantial. It would be like this. And that's just so ass. Such a bad trade if one was to get in that. Can you give us an example as to where you would take profit on what? What coin? Any coin. Okay. What am I in? Okay. Well, here's Doge. It's an active trade that I'm in. It's literally right at my entry. If you guys see this is the red line, it's literally right at my entry. Taking profit. Taking profit is it's probably one of the hardest things for people to do when they start to trade, especially if you're not aware of where price is going to go. And what I mean by that is literally, not having an idea of where it could go. So if one was to start charting, you would then see so many more potential areas where reversals and or buys and stuff like that would happen. So if one was to get this in, I'd grab this one. So this is my risk reward on it. I'm trying to take it back up to the 886 because like I said before, if you do the fib from when you sell off completely and then you want to see the upside of where people will take profits, essentially where shorts would turn to discount, right? Because think of it like this. If price was to go vertical all the way up to the 886, flip the chart, what I tell you, when shit sells off and you pump up and you sell off all the way to the 886, you get a reaction. Like general times you get a reaction. So from this reaction, one can go like this, right? This is an area where people take profits from off an upside dip when people get in pure value down here. Not the other way around. When people long up here, it's like if you wait all the way till till Doge hits like 50 cents to get into Dogecoin, when everyone that gets in right here at 26 cents is already up 100%, you're gonna be the guy that loses the trade. Because when this thing doesn't hit the 886, hits the 786, and reverses then, like if you go like this, because it's not guaranteed 886, it's just wherever. You gotta just be mindful of all levels, because you could pivot here and or here. It could be so bearish that you only retrace 60% and then you go back, or shit, dude. That's why I have my take profits through all of these, because I'm gonna trim some. I trimmed some at 28, thank God, because we're back at entry, whatever. I realized some profit off of it. But then my next target's this one, and then this one, and then I like this one because there's actual price correlation right here. This June wick high, and then going up just to the 886. Same thing with, oh, here's sushi. This is a good one. Yeah, this is where I'm taking profit because I noticed from history that 1350 is pretty strong. 1350 is some support, resistance, support. Yeah, we had room to run to 1530, but this is a good trim right here where you see that it's pivoted twice from this level. It was a long choppy trade, but yeah, target hit, reversed perfectly. That's why you take profits on TP1 and then you leave runners for TP2 and 3. So this essentially would be my TP2, right? I would trim there some too. So hopefully, like, it's where you see. So if you get in a good entry on a coin or a trade, and then you see where price on candles like reverse, like that's an area where people should take profits, because literally the last time you were just here, you reversed. So I mean, is Binance US a good alternative to use instead of Binance? No. In my opinion, if you're just going to use an American like non-leverage exchange, just use Coinbase. Binance US is pretty trash. They take forever to verify your account and or basically to let you on the platform. It could take 30 days and such. So in my opinion, no, I wouldn't. If you can't get on Binance, there's people that sell accounts, and you should ask around if somebody would like to sell you an account. Or there's other exchanges that you could potentially use for leverage trading. Yeah, could you also do TA and Litecoin? Also curious what you think about taking profits on ETH. I answered at 950 last winter. Honestly, dude, if you didn't sell any ETH yet, you could take out your whole initial investment and like keep the rest for free. So it's no harm, no foul. You could keep it for 5 years and see what it manifests into. In my opinion, I'm gonna hold. We broke above previous all-time high, so I'm holding for at least 5K. I have like higher price targets, but you know, we cross that bridge when we get there. I'm not calling stuff, and I'm not making my trading plan like, oh, I'm selling at 14,000, 16,000, or whatever not, but theoretically one could wait. But I already took out all of my initial investments on all of my major buyings, so I'm essentially in all these coins for free. That's why entry is so important, because your couple day late entry, or you're waiting until it's like 50% up, is literally the difference between 50% cushion and 50% downside. So just keep that in mind. Can you peep Dash? Yeah. Are most of your trades with margin? If so, what percent? Not well. All trades are with margin. It's all like money, right? You talking about leverage? No, not all my trades are leverage. I trade more equity just because I have more money available. I really use leverage on positions that I don't essentially want to pay for outright. Like if I'm like, I want to trade this coin and be in it, but I don't want to have to buy and spend all this equity on this coin because it's just a trade. It's not like I'm like believing in it for like a mid-long term thing. So short scalp, short swings for like a few days, I'll just use leverage just because I'm going to be in and out. If I'm in it, I'm in it. I'm like, I own the coins because I'm trying to keep them forever, not pay fees on your exchange for years, and just because you want to hold like a Bitcoin position from 3 years ago or something, I don't know. How can I turn 3K into 300K in the full run with crypto? I don't know. You're asking for it to 100x your portfolio. You 100x your portfolio, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't need us. What about for leverage? For leverage, I would use KuCoin or like Bybit or FTX or something like that. That's funny. Binance, let me verify since I try making. Yeah, you can't verify on Binance unless you have a foreign ID. Like if you're an American and you try to use a regular Binance and it literally says not available in your country, odds are you shouldn't be typing in your ID. You can't get in. Peep Dash. Got you. Dash looking good. Just sitting on the 200 EMA. That's fine. Sold off, came up through. Higher low than the previous low. It's fine. One could say like a little double bottom. Looks cool. Over 190. I'm sorry, 170. In my opinion, if you were in the trade, under 170 is pretty ugly. I would get out. So you got a $29 downside. Something like this, right? If you just got in. One could set it up like this. Underneath that gets gross. But then, in my opinion, 280 up here. Like obviously these would be TPs. This is a shitty risk reward because your first TP at 211 is it's like this is the size of it, like this much reward and then this much risk, but really I'd be shooting for this 230 level, and then these previous highs right here at 280 congestion resistance coming up through here, I think. Yeah, 280. So you see why 211 would be a first target wick high. Literally, it's like this was a multi-year high for Dash coin. 280 resistance, 280 wick support going back to 2017. And then these would be other, 230 wick support going back to 2017. Price pivots at 280. It matters, dude. And then 365. You got this lone wick, and then you got this lone wick. There's gonna be some orders right there, and then breaking above this structure. So good, yeah. Just look left, look back at previous levels on something, and if odds are on like a daily and 4-hour time frame you can't look left, it's a shit coin, and it's not ready to trade. Not enough data. TM Litecoin and Sol whenever you get the chance. Really great knowledge. Yeah. I got you Litecoin. I previously just did Sol, so if you want to just go, it was like one of the first coins I did. If you want to check the recording when I upload it, just because. So Litecoin, I'm a big holder on Litecoin just because it's super stable in my opinion. Chart's pretty clear too. This 185 is now being used as some sort of support. I love it. My target is 247. 247 looking back. This 185 breakout was the 2018 high. And then, or I'm sorry, the end of like this 2018 May high. 247 is my target. Going over here. 247 wick rejected. Coming up, couldn't really get near it. So it's roughly this range. 247, 255, and then 367. I think it's this. Yeah, it's this previous wick, and then obviously the all-time high. I love it above 185. Above 185 gets gross because you can come all the way down to this high wick right here. The support. This is the support for Litecoin underneath 185. So just be wary of it. Let's see. No real entry. I mean, it's just sitting at 200 psychologically. Okay. It pumps and dumps with Bitcoin. Bitcoin pumps it. It pumps. Bitcoin dumps. It dumps. No real edge. It's literally flat, neutral. Wouldn't even really say that's bearish divergence or anything. Okay, what you got? Slightly bullish divergence. Low, higher low, low, lower low, bullish. More selling, less dumping. That's great. That's why it's bullish. So I mean, yeah, if one wanted just to hop in a little trade overnight or something, go like this. Target 247. Get out of it underneath that last little low that you made right here. This is the lowest level, right? This is the wick. Underneath 195, gross. Because then underneath 195, that means 185, and under 185, 145. But if you can pivot, and if you can bounce and break 208 and watch 247, I'm telling you, don't be surprised one day when this thing's 247, 250. And everyone's like, damn, bro, Litecoin blew up. It's up 30 points today. FTM, yeah. FTM, nice bounce in the 200-day moving average, great. Bullish divergence going into there too. Sells going in right here, lower levels of price. Sellers are pretty much non-existent right here. Daily chart, it needs more time because this is just like it's just normal. It's an uptrend. Low, higher low, low, higher low. Yeah. This thing is sketchy if you're not in it already. Daily candle close above 313 though is bullish. That'd be the highest daily candle close of all time. You know what's crazy? I got in this trade right here. time this trade right here. It's like 23 cents. Talk about a 10x. Crazy. But yeah, in my opinion, not really a good risk reward right here. Yeah, you're in an uptrend. You did bounce to the 200 EMA. If you wanted to buy equity or something, if you start trading underneath the 200 EMA, obviously, you know, it's pretty bearish. But who's to say that you're going to get enough bids to come up to even test this level? You could just reverse, like right here. You could just make a lower high than the previous high. Fubo AMC. Fubo is about to go parabolic. This is a stock people don't know. Fubo over 35 is really bullish. Look at where you reject again. To the wick. Come on, man. Like, don't make it complicated. Price action correlation. Right? This is nothing. This is just, it's just trash. So this is all we got. Literally this wick. Above 35, dude, you can go to, I don't know, top of these ranges like 57, 60 bucks on Fubo. For real. Using these levels nice. Respecting resistance. I wanted to see it do something like this again. So use it as resistance, sold off. Use this as a resistance, sold off. And then tested it, consolidated, and then broke through. I wanted to test it, I needed to consolidate, and then we need to break through. Like another leg up. I'm telling you, man, this thing's got upside. Big upside. I'm actually in options contracts for this. Like, in my opinion, you got like 63% upside. Like, just as first target. Nothing really wrong with the chart. Yeah, you're getting hidden bearish divergence, right? Like, you have buyer exhaustion, and then you kind of got your RSI topping a little bit. Yeah, whatever. As long I like it above 30 bucks, because now you're above previous resistance as support, right? Resistance, resistance, resistance. Now if we start trading above it, you know, because we've never really been able to trade above it for more than like, I don't know, 5 days or so. This was 2 days. So this is, yeah. Fubo, AMC. What was that? Yeah. I think AMC could potentially go to 55 bucks. Just needs to obviously catch bids. This 32 level was a good support. I think it could come 55 and then you reverse again. That's just my opinion, but there's no real entry to go like long on this thing. You are testing this $40 level as support, obviously psychological $40, like you want it to hold. Because under 40 you could go to 32, 31 again. So it's really like 40 to 55 or 40 to 32, and you're right in the middle of the range. So I don't know if this looks good for you to go long on AMC, then go crazy. But like that's where it's like gross. Actually, you could just use this low. So I mean, if this looks good to you, then go for it. It's almost a 3-for-1. 13% downside, 38% upside. Let's see, 4 hours something. Yeah, I would wait, dude. Look at your 4 hour going sniping in. You're making lower levels on the RSI. It's getting weaker. Same with your MACD. You're probably gonna go red. Literally just hold above 34. Just pivot above 34, and it'll be solid. Don't break this like little low right here. Can you go over FB? Looks like it's basing out. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just let me know down below. Is anything that I'm saying making sense to anybody? Because I don't want to sit here and like, you know, just go on and go on. Because I know what I'm looking at, whatever. But I just want to know if you guys are like literally like seeing what I'm seeing. If any of it's literally making any sense to you guys. I need Facebook just to get over that 200. Not really that it's anything substantial, but I like it above this high. Right? Like this is your previous all-time high when Facebook's pump. And then the sell-off. I like that you're trading above it. This was pretty wacky with all those tech earnings. But if one was to like get in, say if this is the level where we're trying to get up to, let's see, like right here. So let's draw our fib, right? Like from this low to this high, like where would one be taking profits? Well, 618, I mean, one could trim, I don't know, I really want above this 200 EMA. It looks kind of just weird. And you have all that metaverse stuff going on, so you don't really know if people are going to be that bullish on it to really catch bids above, going above the 200, because we tested it, rejected. We gapped down from the 200 last time we tested it. So tomorrow or something, if Facebook hits 340, I'm not going to be surprised. Like 342 or whatever, I'm not going to be surprised at all. It's if we start closing daily candles back above it, I'll be pretty bullish on it. Because in my opinion, I'm juiced for that metaverse thing. I'm like weirded out about it, but at the same time, but I'm juiced for just like the volatility that's going to come. Yeah, I'm juiced for the volatility and the volume that's going to come into the stock and the space, but I want to see how the public reacts, because I personally don't give a fuck how I think of something. I only care about what other people with money think about something, because they're the ones who are gonna move it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm the one who's playing the breadcrumbs. So I don't give a fuck. Like, my opinion doesn't matter. It's if the chart looks bullish and other people believe in it, and they start putting money into it. CKB.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. And honestly, if we start trading above it, you know me, I'll hop on Facebook. I'll call out a Facebook trade if it looks good. I look at it like every day since since they dropped their announcement for the metaverse and their ticker change in December and stuff like that. Should be good. CKB is a long-term good equity. Alright, well, going purely off technicals, I do not know anything fundamentally about the coin. With that being said, I personally don't care about anything fundamental. I really only care if it's in a good spot on the chart. Okay. Let me just delete this. Let's just start fresh. Right. See why I'm putting this level here? This is a tweezer top with these wicks. Rejected, came back up. Tested, consolidated through. You broke down below it, bullish engulfing through it. Back test as support, bounce, whatever. You capitulated through the bottom of this. And then you tested this as resistance. Come back through. Support, support. Like consolidation, support. Like so. This level's pretty important for me on the chart. And then I could also say this one right here. Like watch, because this little range where catching bids at. And look, it held. This is the one that contained this one. And it contained this, right? So if you start marking stuff in your chart and you're like, yeah, that makes sense, it's kind of clicking, like it's easy for you to size something up, then you know that's all that really matters. There's no real way to do TA, right? It's all about making it just less complicated for you and easier to understand and identify something to make money on. That being said, let's go to this candle high close. Close resistance coming in right here. Rejected here. Okay, ignoring the pumps, just looking at what price is doing at this level. I know some people are like, well, you know, it broke through. Well, that's what we wanted. You want to break resistance. A big, huge candle broke through. This was a, what kind of candle was this? Say frickin' a 36% daily candle. It was up, the asset was up 36% on one day pump. GHX, yeah, that's a shitcoin, but I'll chart it up. So yeah, you're pumping above this level, okay, but at this level, a bunch of resistance coming through right here. Resistance, 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 resistance. So in my opinion, until you start trading back above this, you can get to these levels again, sure, no problem, right? Because it's literally straight up, straight down in matters of days. Literally from when it pumped over the level and until it broke back down below it, it was 26 days. I guess when it really broke down below it, and it hasn't closed the daily candle over it since then. It was 50 days it traded above it. Okay, whatever. So we can go like this. This is literally like, this is just so easy because it's just like, and then you can get into more intra time frames. Like I can go to the 4 hour, but If something's really clear on the daily, then I'm just gonna keep it simple and just peep the daily. In my opinion, I'd wait for a breakout. You got 80% upside over breakout if you're not already in it already. It's a decent rounded bottom base. It's literally completely neutral. Like, it could keep selling, it could pivot. RSI is literally in the middle, 58. Like, nothing. Let me go 4 hour for you then. This is one of those barcode tickers that just barcodes and then they pump, right? I don't know. So if you're going with a long-term equity argument, I don't know. Long-term, if you want to swing it for equity, I mean, 80% gain is 80% gain. What time frame? How do you know what time frame to look at? Or I literally only look at the weekly, daily, 4 hour. Anything else is kind of noise to me. I don't really watch the 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 5 minute, 1 minute. It's kind of a waste. I'm more of a passive swing trader, so I looking at the bigger picture, and I don't need to spend as much time staring my eyes glued to the screen, you know. I have a miner for CBK, so I pretty much DCA into it every day. I mean, that's decent. I mean, you're making passive money, and yeah, you could stack it up. And in my opinion, it looks better than some of these other charts. You're above the 200 EMA. You're not oversold. You're not overbought. You're literally in the dead center of a range, neutral. But this is the breakout. I'll put an alert right here, honestly. CBK or CKB. These coins are crazy. But yeah, this 4 cent level is huge. Like wick, double top. Like that was your highest candle close. This is your highest candle close of all time and your last highest wick of all time. Yeah. It looks decent. And hey, kind of little sneaky thing going on right here. Like you're trading above these tweezer tops. This thing sells out. Like every big green candle, there's a big red one following suit right after it. So gotta be careful with that. You guys think Raven can hit 16? I think he hit 22. You send that live link? Yeah, how do I do that? Teach me how and I'll do it for you, bro. Tell me how to do it, bro, and I got you. Shout out, I just see Playboy. I mean, what? I think I just give you my link. Does this work? Here's my link. That. Can you pick AXS? Yeah. I feel like a TA robot. Literal just moon FOMO coming in right here. What is this from? So inverse head and shoulders played out. Okay, cool. I have to go to the 1 hour to literally see what's going on, but this is just pumping and dumping and chopping its way up to parabolicness. Most of us got into AXS like right here, so this is kind of just irrelevant. But if you are new to the space and you are getting in, it's decent. I like it. It looks bullish, like it might have continuation. It's trading above like its previous like little ranges right here. Kind of actually back tested as a support. You can kind of see that where it's like this, right? Like that. Like pump, spring, back test, pump up. If daily candle close right here, it'd be the highest daily candle close of all time. It's pretty bullish, but where's the risk to reward? Where do you get out of the trade? That's where you got to ask yourself. Where is it negative, or like not negative, but when does the plan fail? In my opinion, the plan fails right here. Underneath slow, because then you probably go down here. Or probably right here. But this is just trash, dude. Like, because then what, you take profits right here, this all-time high. This is a 1-for-1 trade. You risk $1 to make $1. That's gambling. Ave breaking on the 4 hour worked. Let me see. Yeah, Aave looks like it might actually. Where's my chart? Aave looks like it might go. Look, it back tested this previous level. Yeah, I think we already just looked at this one. Back tested this previous level. It's gonna go up. I'm at watch 374, bro. You guys are in Aave. Watch 374. And in my opinion, I would not be in it under 312. XRP. Lamb. I like it over 110. This was the previous. I'm not gonna say all-time high. You know what I mean? The highs were over here, but from this breakout range from when it was like fucking a shit coin from 30 cents to 60 or whatever, or $1 the first time. This is like a double top daily candle high close. And you respected it right here off this wick. You're using it as some support right here, and then you're chopping through. 110 was my actual entry on XRP, like the breakout of 110. I'm still in it. I'll probably just buy more if we test 110 again. I think it'll hold true, especially with just all the hype and the potential upside for it that people are speculating. I think it could be really good. We got no real entry on it's like weird to like long it right here. Like 110 would probably be the best, or if you did maybe average down at 110, if you just wanted to be exposed to it overnight. No real entry though. It's coming to apex. You think about it, like sellers, lower sellers, buyers, lower buyers. Like it's gonna start squeezing, and one of them's got to break out. So it's almost like this, right? Like it's like that, like with like an apex going up to this. I mean, yeah, we broke out structurally, but this thing's got to keep pumping. We got to go up. It looks good though. I'm in it. I'm making XRP. You know it. 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 MATIC. All right. MATIC is actually looking for some downside here soon in the next day or two potentially. It broke out of this range. Yeah, I'll look at one. It broke out of this range, and we couldn't really test these all-time highs. I believe this is the 886 though. And what I mean by that, it's just by eyeballing it. Or no, 786. Okay, we almost got to an area where a lot of people take profits. And the reason why people take profits, look, like that top right here is the 886. Yeah, but printed on the 4 hour at least. We got a high. We got a high, we sold off, and then we took profit literally at this little 886 range, and we're probably going to come back down because this is a lower high. Confirmed. And then no real reason to stop selling right now. There's no signs of reversal going on. Let's see, where did we do? This little fib. Went to the 618, curled, back down. Hopefully we hold the 618. We could probably do something like this though. Or wait, wrong tool. Probably do something like this, right? Like curl up and then do like some W thing. That'd be cool. I'd watch out for that. Definitely. But yeah, I mean, most of these coins are going to lose a lot of volume right now for Bitcoin. Speaking of Bitcoin, trying to pivot nicely in this like little zone. Just look at ETH. This is the baby. Ethereum looking solid. I mean, we were pulling back whatever, dude. Ethereum's still over 5,400. Like, I'm sorry, 4,500. It's looking spicy. Looking very, very, very spicy. Don't sleep. We were dissipating in the sellers, but we started back up again. All good. What's the daily candle look like? Not too shabby. Not too shabby. Weekly is just stupid. Weekly has no reason to stop. And you aren't even overbought yet, bro. There's no reason. And some would say, since I've just said or whatever, the bearish divergence, like, yeah, you were stronger essentially here than you were here, but this is the all-time high. True, but that's in the case of we start reversing. There's no signs of reversal here, so this thing could grow into strength, like past these levels, and then keep going. Or this thing could just go in price, and then the strength could just be so weak that eventually when it hit like 5K or some crazy number, then that's when it reverses, and then you get the bearish divergence playing out. So it's really hard to try to call shit just solely based on information when there's not enough data left. Like, that's why everyone kind of needs to chill and just like watch like all their theses, because they change a lot. Like, you're trading like new data every day, new daily candle every single day, new weekly candle every single week. Something to really pay attention to. Always like just reevaluate. Like, if we have a candle and this thing just like shits all the way down at 3,600, I'm gonna be like, hey, yo, this thing's not like my stance will change if something drastically changes on the chart. Obviously, I'm not gonna be like one-sided about it. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Oh yeah, I was actually in this the other night. Some sort of, oh, I know what I did here. Where were we selling off to? Okay, so from this low to this high, selling off, trying to get in this like 886 zone. I'm sorry, 618 zone. And really, when you get to all-time highs and shit, like when it's just parabolic like this, like all you really have is fib, because what support resistance are there if it's just straight mooning? Like, we want to know where it moons. Look at this 1618, we're respected hella hard, sold back off. We're testing the 1272 as a support. That's pretty bullish. Most of the time, they usually come back down and test the previous high as a support. But now it's trying to pivot here. No real edge though on the daily. Looks pretty. Looks like I keep pissing. I would definitely place limits at like 22 cents though, like 22.5 for like 225 on one. And if we got like a market flush in the middle of the night and this thing was down like, I don't know what, from where it's at now, if this thing dumps in the middle of the night 20% or something one day and it hits 22 cents, I think you get that spring. Because it's this, like, you sprung out of the all-time high and you back test the spring to the launch again. That's how the waves happen every time, like oscillations, up, down, up, down. That's how charts work. Charts just don't go vertical. Adam. Yeah, does anyone have any questions though? Just besides like just to look at this chart, but does anyone have any questions? Adam looks good. I like it. Dude, look at these daily bottom wicks, bro. That's so bullish. Like, the buyers are stepping the fuck in hard as hell. Over the 200 on the 4 hour, bro. Like, I like it, bro. I love it for $44. 44 wick. Previous all-time high. Like 4 hour. That's the 4 hour all-time high. Candle close. I like it for 44. Keep it a buck. Keep it a buck. Someone's CRV. CRV, These wicks are gross, and also too, it's probably gonna just come test the breakout support. Fuck, I hate this auto feature. It's probably just gonna come test this breakout support.
Yo, please.
What's happening?
You check SFP for me?
Yeah, I got you. But it's probably gonna come like test these highs or something. And it damn near almost did. Like what, you were 3.95, you were 5 pennies away or something, like 6 pennies away. I mean, shit. There's no real art in pivoting now. One. Sorry, SFP. Man, I got in this dude, this is where I got in the trade. And it fucking mooned. Literally mooned. I like it back testing this. If you can hold here, that'd be pretty sick. Because you'd be holding this support, then this like support resistance flip. Always look for those. And then above 184, I think you can fucking above 184. I literally think you go straight up again to 280. Like it go up $1. Because literally it's straight up, straight down from this level. Was it? Like,
I'm in position right now at 1.76. Do you think like 1.37 should be my stops then?
yeah, if you start trading underneath 1.3, like this 1.36 level right here, dude, you can come down here to like 80 cents or something. If the market was really bad. So the more you hold above this 200 and you hold above like this little level, this like 165-ish, 166 level, you probably break even on your trade because you said 176. Yeah, you're like right here.
Yeah.
So 184s would be the breakout above to go to like 280-ish. But yeah, dude, 136 gets kind of gross because that's a resistance. Big capitulation candle this September 6th. That's the El Salvador day. Essentially, you could say that you're kind of back testing that. But man, yeah, I wouldn't really want to mess with that shit underneath 136.
Right. So like stops should be around 140, 137.
Yeah, 137. Set an alert and see if price is gonna react. Because I'm assuming from just the range that it was in, I'm assuming if you ever hit 136 again, like this wick support, like if you ever hit 136, you're gonna get a lot of bids are probably right here. So if price was to come down, that's why setting your stops at support's kind of risky because you run the risk of getting stopped out on a bounce.
Yeah.
So I think you probably catch a lot of bids. If anything, maybe a potential average down on 136 if the market is looking decent. But I mean, you don't want to keep averaging down on something that's just about to die, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's SFP. Can you go over spotting buyer and seller exhaustion? Yeah, it's literally just the MACD. Seller exhaustion, you can see where it starts dissipating, right? Like buys, and then you see it turning lighter and it's like fading away, and then you get the dark reds, and then the sellers start stepping away. Buys, and then very short-lived. It's not like it's always going to be some clean wave. Like you'll see it literally just like kind of just dump off the face like this. Just this one was decent. It was started to like go away, but then now it's we're coming back on. So don't want to break this low. Seller exhaustion, it just shows when the sellers are like kind of stepping away into something. If that makes sense. Like you can go over another one like this one, like Bitcoin Cash. It's getting some seller exhaustion for real, as long as it doesn't just start dumping like that other coin that I just showed you. Buyers, buyer exhaustion, seller step in, seller exhaustion, buys, buyer exhaustion, rinse and repeat. It's not like a definitive like, oh, we're about to dump because there's buyer exhaustion. It's just showing you like kind of weakness and to pay attention, not weakness and or strength, and it's kind of like an eye or something to pay attention on for just future price and how price is going to react. Like BNB, like let's look at BNB. BNB is making higher highs and all this stuff or whatever, but like this is the same level as it was. What day is this? August 20th. Like BNB has the same amount, quote, like essentially looking at this indicator, BNB has the same amount of buyers as it did on October 23rd when the price was at 480 and it's at 560. Slightly bearish, and the buyers are getting exhausted, and some sellers might step in right here because you're kind of stalling right here. And it kind of makes sense, right? Like, why? Because from this low to this high, back up to take profits on something. Dude, I mean, you're almost right at the 786. This is where people take profits. Pivot, pivot. You got here once or whatever. Rejected 618. So people are going to take profits here. In my opinion, you probably go like this. So you hit the 618, you pivot, hit the 786. You probably pivot down in this 508 level, this support. This is support going back over here. That's why it's on there. And then you probably bounce and then maybe hit the 886. And then maybe you can then break out. So that's the chain for it, because it's looking like it's stalling, and bearish stagnation tends to take over when, you know, there's not a lot of bids coming through to support it, because people will be like, this is kind of lacking in my port, I'm just going to trim some profits. And if everyone has that little mindset of, oh, trim profits, coin's going to fall. I'll go on the daily. Here, just screenshot my chart and post it on Twitter. I'm just joking. The algo's good. I like it above 185. I'm willing to own it. Like a wick coming over here, support, and look at all this chop. Like, but look at all these candle reactions. I think it's super interesting on the daily. This 185 level, support coming through, resistance, breakout, trying to double bottom right here or something. Rejected. I mean, like, look, like, it's literally barcoding on this 184 level, which is decent. Like, it's holding the price above its previous all-time high all the way from February. Over 184, 204 is the target-ish, like 204, 205. And then you go to like this highest daily candle close of all time, like 237. And then probably, I don't know, 250, $3, $350, $4, like, I don't know. Let's see, or maybe we could see with the fibs or something. From, let's say this is I don't really know, what's our major low? Like, who's kind of willing to spot it? Because I don't know, like, where do you size up? Like, where's like an actual pit? Like, would you consider this major, or would you consider this major? Maybe this wick. I don't know. It's something you gotta ask yourself. Again, TA is all, what's the word? It's your opinion. It's your interpretation of it. If you can set up a trade plan and it's clear and concise and you have conviction in it and confidence and confluence to enter the trade, then, you know, go crazy for it. Like, I'm never gonna be someone to say that don't do that. I'll give you my opinion of what I think or whatever, but hey, I'm never 100% right. I'm wrong. In my opinion, the major low on the daily chart for, yeah, I'll check Bitcoin Cash, notice me. In my opinion, most recent one for this particular, like, price range that I'm looking at right here, just this on the daily chart. If I went to the 4 hour, I'd probably find another pivot, but, you know, make my life easier, I'm just going to keep it right here on the daily. So if we take this low to this high, dude, if we went to algo like crazy targets, like, so if algo was to pivot, hold here, and then go up, probably, yeah, like 215-ish, or this 204 level, and then, yeah, like this 230, 234 level. But once you break this high, 306, 141, like the 1414 is up here. I mean, dude, what's like the moon boy targets, right? Like, I love to see these ones. Fucking the 4236 where Solana is at right now is at $8.64. It's like a 6x from here. So if that was the bottom, if like this was the pivot and like all the discount, so let's see what discount algo hit. I'll go to a cleaner chart. Let's see what discount algo hit. Right? 50%, right? From this low to this high, you sold off. You're right at the 50% mark. And then you're trying to pivot, absorbing up through the upside. So, I mean, it's decent. I like it. I own it. I think I called it out at 185. It's literally break even. It's 186. It's literally break even or something. So, yeah, it looks decent like that. Bitcoin Cash. This is such a boomer coin. I'm gonna keep it a buck. You know it and I know it. There's other shit in the market that looks way better than this coin. Like, probably enough, like, probably to make, like, more money on it. Let's see. These are just some levels that I have for it. I really wanted above above 654, because then you could def see like 750, and or like somewhere like this, like 750, 807 ish. Like let's go like. The magnet tool is kind of annoying sometimes. Come on. Alright. On point. So it's kind of like this, right? Like you probably get a lot of sells right here. But if you break this like little range where people are taking profits, bouncing for some support, taking profits between $750 and $800. So I would sell most of my position at 750 and then hold the moon back for the ride up. But look at the weekly, bro. Honestly, whoever has patience in this chart could like really make a lot of money, because the weekly's stupid bullish. All it's done is just like sold up. Dude, you dumped, bruh. Like from price where price was at right here, from the high to this low right here, what happens? You go 76% on sale, and then you bounce. And then from this high to this low, you go like 40 or yeah, let me see. Oh shit. So I mean, it's kind of apparent that this, yeah, like it was a 786 bounce. But yeah, I'm really looking for that again, I own equity in this thing too. 750 is kind of my target. Over 750, look at what happens. Like let's say 800, over 800, boom, parabolic to 1600. Over, using 750 as a support and or to break out, like boom, like 1800, and then fuck that, some scam shit. But you get the idea. These little pillars of resistance right here is going to be something really important to break out of. If you ever got a weekly candle close above $800, I'm telling you guys, it's going to go to 16, like 1400 on a weekly. You just have to have patience. This is like a kind of like who's in it for the long term type of game, because you're going to get irritated with the position. It's still going to be lagging. You're going to put too much money in, and then everyone's going to be making money on other coins, and you're holding Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Cash isn't even moving. And then what? And then you sell, and then it moons, and you're like, damn, I just sold 5 days ago. It's like, well, why? Well, I wasn't doing anything. Well, then why'd you sell? If it wasn't doing anything, if you had no reason to leave the trade, then why'd you leave? Because now you're FOMOing in, and you buy back in when it's up 20%, and then pull back, and then that's how everyone just burns their port. Like people are detrimentally, like you're your own worst enemy when trading, not the markets, bro. You just had a bad entry and you made a bad exit. To be honest, markets can't really fuck you. You were just buying at the highs. Acro. Alright. Just gonna do a couple more. It's getting late. We're 2 hours in. You can look at charts all day though, but I gotta do stocks in the morning, and it's not good for my brain just to be totally on charts 24/7. Yeah, Acro is really good. You're above September 6 highs, which is September 6 dump, which is good. Really looking for this 5.8 cent level. Let me think. I think it's from over here. Nope. Oh, 5.8. It was the highest daily candle close of all time for a long time. Until, what was this? February. It was the highest daily candle close for a month. And then you broke out of it, obviously. So I'd be looking to take profits. 5.8. If you played the breakout of the September 6th high. 5.8, 6.7. I think this level is on the 4 hour. Or no, this is the A point for the harmonic, and then obviously taking profits at the C at like 8.85. So about, well, from entry, I guess it would have been 125% upside essentially on that. You check out Baidu, 185. Alright, that's a little too much. Which one do you want me to look at? Like I'm not gonna like recommend like options and stuff for those. What are those red triangles in your chart? It's a harmonic tool. or it's an XABCD pattern tool. It's like this thing. It's essentially, this is a Fibonacci without like me drawing the fib and having all the lines and stuff. It's like a visual shape thing. Like you see right here where it says 89% from this low to and then this high. When you sold off right here, this is 89% discount. Like, okay, well, it needs the range right here, but you get it like dump right here is 84% because it doesn't have that with data in it. But yeah, this is like 89% discount from this low and then this high, and it shows like reactions. Look, you got the reaction, boom, triple bottom, and then you go up, higher low than the previous low, great, bullish, you're in a zone. Oh, inverse head and shoulders, impulse up, right? Like, I mean, I can draw that out for you guys if you want. Right, little inverse head and shoulders. A lot of coins have this, or had it at least, you know. Come up, flip it, because you flip it bearishly. Boom, 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 head and shoulders breakdown. Inverse head and shoulders to the upside. Someone said bat. Bat, 2 pump and dumpy, watch it hold 89 cents if it fell down there, which it looks like it might. You're trying to hold September 6 highs though. We're coming to that point where all these altcoins are trying to hold that El Salvador day high. So watch the ones that hold it, and watch the ones that don't hold it, because it shows relative strength in the market. Look at these El Salvador day highs. September, look at back over here. This was a support. Price is important right here at 98 cents. So keep an eye on it. It looks like to me it's trying to hold. It's catching a lot of bids. Sellers, buyer exhaustion is coming through though, so watch it might not, and then maybe potentially coming down to 88 or something. Baidu the most. Alright, got you. What does long mean? How do I spell buyer exhaustion? Look at this MACD. Do you see it like dipping? Like this right here? Like pump and then dumping down and then the red starts stepping in? Meaning like we were making highs and now as we're making lows, like price is now slipping. Pretty much for anything. Like here, this is seller exhaustion. Why? Because like you're rounding out and then now you're trying to flip to the upside to go positive on like for buyers to step in. Same thing right here. It could be super rampant. Like the exhaustion could just last like one day. Like you see how this was like major and then it just went negative. It's just something to think about when it's playing out. Let me see. Like this looks like seller's exhaustion because it seems like any day now, like in probably 3 or something days, we're gonna have like a green bar on this oscillator. And as you're pivoting, so you see like prices like curling, you got your sellers like now like stepping out, RSI now stepping out. So it's all like confluent with each other. Whenever you see differences where like prices curling, but like these are pointing down, it's like seems like prices seeming fugazi. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not adding up. Homie said Baidu. This man wants to trade China. China, this is a stock. Okay. I think Baidu's going to come to 150. And then, because it rejected the 200 and 180 super hard. 180, a bunch of support coming through right here. Dude, I shorted this thing. This is the head and shoulders that I shorted through right here. I think it's going to come to 150 potentially. So be very careful of that. 150 is important too. This is previous high. Gap fill right here. This is where we gapped down for, I think, an earnings one time. Came back up, almost tested this resistance coming through. So just price correlation, man. Straight up. Let's see, 150. Chop coming through, some supports coming in. 150. Yeah, I think 150 for sure, in my opinion. Yeah, dude, there's so much data right here at 150. Yeah, I wouldn't get calls now. There's no real reason to get calls right now. This your lowest. I'm sorry. This is your most sellers on the daily chart since August 23rd. Essentially, right? This is your lowest level of negative momentum. Let's see, what is this line at? I could literally put a line. Yeah, right here. No sells have gone that low except August 23rd. And that was right here. What was the price at on August 23rd? 150. So just watch out for that. Watch out. Yeah, like you got suffocating under the daily.